What's up guys, Dr. Ryan here with another episode of Smashing Wealth. In today's video, I am super excited to be sharing with you Robinhood Investing for Beginners. This app is going to allow you to buy and sell stocks for free. This video is going to take you from knowing absolutely nothing about the Robinhood app to becoming an absolute pro at Robinhood investing. You will even learn the basics of buying, selling, and analyzing stocks through live examples. I'm going to walk you through Robinhood Investing for Beginners step by step. Think about this video being all about Robinhood Investing for Dummies. Except here's the really great part. I know you're super smart, so this video is going to result in you going out and crushing it big time. I'm going to show you how to sign up for Robinhood, teach you all the critical features in one easy to follow video. Today I'll be opening up my own personal Robinhood brokerage account to show you all the ropes with full transparency. I will be Robinhood investing live. This will result in giving you the tools which will allow you to drastically increase your wealth over the long term through Robinhood investing strategies. Ultimately, if we do this correctly, you should end up receiving a free stock. So let's get into this ultimate Robinhood Investors for Beginners review. The first thing you're going to want to do is download the Robinhood app. This way you can follow along with this Robinhood investing tutorial. Following me step by step is the best way to learn. I left a link in the description section of this video that you can use to download the Robinhood application. I also pinned the Getting Started with Robinhood Investing link to the top of the comment section. If you use this link, you'll receive one free stock just for signing up for a free account. This is how you can start your Robinhood investing with little money. Since Robinhood is a free platform, anytime you buy or sell a stock, there's no transaction costs incurred by you. Now that we have the Robinhood app set up and you've claimed your free stock, let's take a look at how to use the Robinhood investing app. When it comes to Robinhood Investing for Beginners options, you have many. There are multiple platforms, which include your computer, iOS, and Android. Let's open up the Robinhood app and get moving. Let's kick off this Robinhood investing tutorial by showing you the account holding section of the Robinhood app. This is the first screen that you're going to see when you open up the Robinhood app. This screen shows you the entire balance of your Robinhood investing account, all your assets plus all your cash that you have deposited in your account. This screen is updated live if the market is open and stocks are being traded. If you scroll through, I'll show you how to scroll here. You'll start pre-market, and that's pre-markets from 9 a.m. going up until 9:30. And you'll notice that after 9:30 it becomes live trading, and you can actually see how your portfolio has changed during the day just by taking your finger and dragging through. Now you might see that dotted line right there that runs through kind of like the upper third of the screen. That's the break-even point. That's where the movement of the price kind of meets where it started from, so you know whether you're up for the day or down for the day. There is no need to check your stocks every 3 minutes. Don't be me. The truth is, I used to have a life and then Robinhood happened. Now, what I really love about this app is the fact that you can scroll through and look at your portfolio on a daily basis, a weekly basis, monthly basis, 3 months, a year, or all time. So if you go ahead and you click on one day, as I showed you before, you can scroll through and you can see what happened at 9:30, 9:50, 10 o'clock, 11, 12, so on and so forth. Then you can go ahead and you can click on the week and change it to a weekly view, and you'll be able to see what happened to your portfolio for the whole entire week. So you can see I'm scrolling through May 8th, May 11th, May 12th, May 13th, May 14th, and it'll show you how your portfolio has basically operated over the past week. And you can also switch it to a monthly view, and you'll be able to see how your portfolio has reacted day by day, scrolling through each day for an entire month. And you can start to see trends of where your portfolio is headed. Now, if you scroll down a little bit, you'll see that there is a list of stocks right underneath the graph. And this list of stocks is essentially what you own. And it'll show you how many shares of each stock that you own. So as you can see, I own 100 shares of SPHD, 2 shares of CLF, 2 shares of APA, 10 shares of SDIV, so on and so forth. If you look through this list, you'll notice that each company is represented by a few letters. These few letters are known as stock tickers. Sometimes the ticker symbol closely resembles the name of the company, and sometimes it doesn't. Oftentimes, a stock will be referenced by its ticker symbol, and sometimes it'll be referenced by the company name. So what you'll notice here is in the right-hand column, there are a bunch of numbers. You'll see for SPHD, it's plus 2.42. CLF is plus 0%, SDIV plus 4.77%. So now these numbers obviously represent something. So if you go ahead and you click on these three dots that are right above the numbers, you'll notice that you can change what it represents. So if you go ahead and you click on last price, it'll actually show you what the last price was for this particular stock. And it moves when the market's open because the price of a stock is always in a state of flux. It's always changing as long as the market's open. So if you go ahead and you click on last price, it'll show you the last available price for that particular stock. If you go ahead and you click on percent change, it'll show you how much that stock has changed on that particular day. How much percent did it go up? How much percent did it go down? If it went up, it's in green. If it went down, it's negative. You'll see the SPHD here went up 0.74% today, and you'll see that CLF went down negative 1.23% for the day. If you go ahead and you click on those three dots again, you'll notice that there's also an equity button. So if we go ahead and switch it to an equity view, you'll notice that I own a total of $3,043.50 of SPHD, and I own a total of $8 of CLF. Now, the fact that some are green and some are red means if it's green, I'm up in my holdings, and if it's red, I'm down in my holdings. Now, you go ahead and you click on those three dots again. You can bring up a total gain, total loss category, and you'll notice that it'll actually tell you how much I'm up and how much I'm down. So for SPHD, I'm up $71 in total for the amount of money I put in. That's my total gain on the investment. If I was to sell the stock today, that would be my realized gain. The CLF, you'll notice that I'm up $8.01. If I sold the stock today, I would be profitable, $8.01. Now $8.02 from where I bought it. APA, I'll be up $21.20 if I sold it today. That would be my realized gain. That's the total amount of money that I've gained since I've bought the stock. And I can scroll through and you'll be able to see what my realized gain or loss would be if I sold each stock today. Now you go ahead and you click on those three dots again. The last category is total percent change, and that shows me of all time, not just today, but of all time, what am I up or what am I down in terms of percentage? So you'll see in SPHD, I'm up 2.39%, SDIV, 4.69%. On KBWD, I'm up a whopping 26.71%. So just by scrolling through on that category, on that last category, total percent change, it'll show you exactly how much percent you're up all times that you bought it. Taking a look at this data can help you plan out your Robinhood investing strategies. Now, if you go ahead and you scroll down the list all the way down, and you'll get to what we call the watch list. And the watch list contains stocks that you're watching. These aren't stocks that you own. These are stocks that you may have some interest in, you're tracking, you kind of want to see what they're doing in the market day to day. You're not ready to jump in yet. You're kind of just watching from a distance. Now, the watch list has all the different companies, and you can see the companies that I'm actually just looking at and following from a distance. And just like above, you can go ahead and you can click on those three dots once again. You could change it to last price, so you can see what the last price of the day was. You can click it to percent change, so you see what the percent change was for that particular day. You can click on equity, and that's not going to ever show you any value for your watch list because obviously you don't own any of those stocks. And then you can go ahead and total gain and total loss and total percent change, those aren't applicable either because you don't own these stocks, so you wouldn't have a gain, a loss, and there wouldn't be any total percent change from the time you bought it because you never bought it. And I'll show you how to go ahead and add different stocks and assets and ETFs to this watch list a little bit later in this tutorial. Let's go ahead and jump into the next category of this Robinhood investing review. Let's take a look at the navigation bar at the bottom of the screen. So if we're here on that first screen still, the same screen with the graph, shows you your account balance, you'll notice that if you look at the bottom portion of the screen, there's these different icons. And you'll notice that one of the icons is like a magnifying glass. So this magnifying glass category represents the browse section of the Robinhood app. So what I want you to do is go ahead and click on the magnifying glass to go ahead and get to that browsing section of the app. This browse section of the app just features different news stories. You'll see that the news stories tend to correlate with the stocks you own. So I love just going through in the morning, reading some of these stories, see what's going on with some of the stocks I own. Now that we're on the browse section of the app and you're looking through these news stories, you'll also notice there's a top mover section. And these are the stocks that have made the biggest gains and the biggest losses of the day. So you'll see here that CTMX is down 35.56%, Allogene is up 32%, and you can scroll and you'll notice that there are tons of stocks here and they're listed by the biggest gains and the biggest losses. This way, if you're the kind of person that likes to look at stocks that have really went down for the day and you know they're gonna go back up, you'll be able to identify it right here on this screen. And if we keep scrolling all the way down, you'll notice the news stories pretty much go forever. So I'm not gonna take you to the bottom of this list, let's go back up. So now that we're at the top of this browse section, you'll see once again the top story that just came out. And if you go ahead and you click on the search companies option, you can actually search for a company. So like, let's say for instance, you wanted to search for ExxonMobil. You could type in Exxon, E-X-X-O-N, and you'll start to see that ExxonMobil came up there. It's the first result. And you can click on it, and it'll take you to ExxonMobil. And I'm gonna go back for a moment here to show you. And not only can you search by company name, but you can actually search by the ticker name. So instead of Exxon, let me delete that for a moment. I could type in XOM, and you'll also see that ExxonMobil comes up once again, and I can click on it, and it'll take me to ExxonMobil's page. Now that we're in the browse section of this app, let's go ahead and do some market research. Let's look into a company. So let's go ahead and type in Microsoft. So type in micro, and there you go, the first option. So I started to spell out the word because I didn't know that Microsoft was MSFT. Just kidding. But just go ahead and click on it. And you'll see here today that the Microsoft price is $177.65. And right now we're defaulted to the day view. So if we wanted to see how this stock has performed over the course of the day, you can just take your finger, put it on the chart, and you'll see that pre-market they were at about $178.25. And as you scroll through, you'll notice that they started to fall a little bit to 176, went back up, went back down, went back up, went back down, went back up. And you can see how the stock has performed throughout the day. Now, if you wanted to go ahead and you want to see how the stock performed during the entire week, you click on the week view, and you'll notice that starting in the beginning of the week, the stock was up, and then as time went on throughout the week, it started to decline downward. Now, if you go ahead and click on the month, you'll also notice that there was an uptrend in the price of the stock throughout the month. And if you go ahead and extend that out to 3 months, you'll notice that it was up, and then it came down, and then it went back up again. And you can also click on the year to see how the stock's performed over the year. I like to look at the 5-year just to see how the stock has performed over time. And if you click on the 5-year, you'll notice that this stock has just generally over time just went up. And I like to see that in anything that I buy. I like to see that there's this general trend of going upward. You know, it might have its dips here and there, but I just want to make sure that that line is, headed up. At this point of the Robinhood Investing app review, let's dive into the statistics chart. This chart gives you a phenomenal basic overview of the data associated with a particular stock. It's important to understand this data when it comes to Robinhood Investing for Beginners. So if we go ahead and we dive into the statistics chart here, you'll see that it has a lot of different values. So let's go ahead and dive into the statistics chart. You'll notice the first value is the open value. This is the price that the stock opened at during the open of the market today. And you'll see the second value is today's high. That's the highest value that the stock was able to reach today. The next value is today's low. That's the lowest value the stock reached today. Now that's important because you understand how the market fluctuated today. You understand that the lowest point was $175.68 and the highest point the stock reached today was $178.89. And during the day, that's how the stock fluctuated, and it stayed between those 2 points. And this gives you an idea of the trading pattern for the day. The next value you're going to look at is the 52-week high. This value is the highest price that this Microsoft stock has reached for the entire 52 weeks preceding today. So that means the entire year, this is the highest value that Microsoft has reached, and it's $190.70. And not only that, but the value below it shows you the lowest price that the stock has reached for the entire year. So in the last 52 weeks, the lowest price that Microsoft has reached was $119.01. So you get an idea of the fluctuation of the stock throughout the year from 52 weeks of data. The next statistic is the volume. The volume is the number of shares that change hands during a given day. The volume tells investors how much of a specific share is in demand. When positive press is released and people are just buying, or if there's negative press release and people are selling, the volume tends to go up or go down in relation. And the next value, which is average volume, that's just the volume averaged over some period of time. The next statistic is the market cap, and the market cap refers to the total value of a company's share of stock. So you can calculate the market cap very simply. You just have to take the price of a stock and you multiply it by the total number of shares that exist for that particular company. So for instance, if a company has 20 million total shares and each share costs $10, the market cap for that particular company would be $200 million. The next statistic on this list is the PE ratio. And the PE ratio is the cost of a share relative to how much money the company makes per share. And you can calculate the PE ratio by dividing the current stock price by the stock earning per share. And a share is worth X times more than what they're actually making. So for instance, in this example, you have Microsoft, their PE ratio is 30.39. This means that the cost that this share of Microsoft is trading at currently is 30.39 times what their earnings are per share. You want the PE ratio to be as low as possible. If the PE ratio is high, this typically means that a company represents a stock value that's overpriced. And the only reason you would want to invest in a stock that has a high PE is that you expect that the stock price will appreciate greatly in the future. The PE ratio is very important when formulating your Robinhood investing strategies. Let's talk about Robinhood investing dividends. The dividend yield is what the company pays you annually as a percentage of the value of the company you own. For example, if a share is $200 and the dividend yield is 5%, that means that the company would pay you $10 a year in Robinhood investing dividends. These dividend yields that are listed are usually estimates based on the past performance of a particular dividend stock. It's not a guarantee of future dividend payments, as a company can decrease or cut its dividend at any time. And to end this statistics chart with Microsoft, you'll be able to see that their dividend yield is 1.118%. So essentially what that means is that if they're paying a dividend, like I said, this dividend is based on past dividends that have been paid. But if they decide to move forward paying the same dividend, they would pay, if you bought the stock today, one share of it at $177.87, they would pay a dividend yield of 1.118% on top of that. So you would basically take the $177.89 and multiply it by 0.01118. And you would get an amount, and I'm not able to do that calculation in my head, so you're gonna have to figure it out. And that's taken into account that their future dividend payments mirror the past, which it doesn't have to. Now, if we go ahead and we scroll down past the statistics chart, you'll also notice that there's another news section here. And you'll see that there's various news stories that are related to this particular stock. And what you'll find out is that stocks are very emotional. They don't always move in price logically. Sometimes you'll notice that the stock market does not necessarily reflect what's going on with the economy. That's why it's helpful to take a look at the news of each stock so that you know what's going on. And the next chart after the recent chart is the analyst rating chart. And this just basically tells you what analysts are rating the stock, if they're telling you to buy it, they're telling you to hold it, they're telling you to sell it. And I don't really place that much weight onto this chart. I glance at it from time to time, and I like to make my data based on my own research. And because some people think that you can make your Robinhood investing decisions just based on this data. And if you do that, that's really gonna be Robinhood investing for dummies. You always wanna do your own due diligence when doing any kind of Robinhood investing. You never wanna fully rely 100% on the decisions or recommendations of others. And that includes me. Now, if we keep scrolling down, we will get to the quarterly earnings. Let's do a Robinhood investing review of the quarterly earnings section. Each year is divided into 4 quarters, logically. Every quarter contains 3 months. So if we stop and we analyze this quarterly earning chart, you'll notice that there's these bright red dots, or dark red dots, however you want to look at it, and these light red dots. And what you'll see here is that the light red dots is the expected EPS, the expected earnings per share. And the bright red dots is the actual earnings per share. And what this chart basically tells you is what we thought the stock was going to earn, which was the expected EPS per share, and what the stock actually earned per share. And it's really nice here because we actually expected the stock to earn less than it actually did in every single quarter so far. That means that this stock exceeded expectations. The next section is the featured in section. And this is basically different categories that a stock has been grouped into. You can go ahead and you can click on each category and it'll bring you to a list of stocks in each category of the Robinhood Investing app. The section after that is the people also bought section. This just essentially says that people who looked at Microsoft in this particular example, they also bought Facebook, they bought Disney, they bought Apple. You can scroll through and you can see what they also bought. This is kind of like shopping on Amazon, and you buy something and then it says, well, people also bought this product. And it's the same way on the Robinhood app. They're just telling you what people also bought who bought this particular stock. The last section down here is the About section, and it gives you some pretty limited information. Tells you who the CEO is, the headquarters is located, the founding date, how many employees are in the company, a little blurb about the company. What I'd recommend is if you want to do some serious research, go on Yahoo Finance. It'll provide you with a lot more information. I'll go ahead and link to it in the description below. It's time to take action. It is time to smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. Awesome. Now that we got that taken care of, the next part is critical when it comes to Robinhood investing for beginners. Let's show you how to buy a stock. All right, now it's time to talk about the market order. How do we actually go about putting in an order to buy a stock, an exchange traded fund, or an asset? So we're gonna go ahead and whip out the Robinhood app. Now it's time to put in a market order. It's time to actually buy that stock, ETF, financial asset. So we're in the browse section of Robinhood. And what you want to go ahead and do is put in the name of a company. So what I'm going to do is search for Exxon. And one of the first options is ExxonMobil. So I'm going to go ahead and click on ExxonMobil. You'll see that there's a little plus sign in the upper right-hand corner of the screen. If you go ahead and you hit that little plus sign, it'll go ahead and turn into a negative sign. And what this means is that ExxonMobil just got added to my watch list on that first screen when you scroll down to the bottom. Remember I told you I'll tell you later in the video? Well, I'm telling you now. Now, if you're looking at the ExxonMobil screen here, it tells you that the price is $42.55. Now, a market order is an order that basically states that I want to buy the stock now. I want to buy it at market price. Now, we're a little after hours here, and you know we're after hours because the price isn't moving. If the price is moving up and down, that means it's trading, and the fact that it's not moving up and down means that it's not trading. And since we're not in trading mode right now, being that the stock market is closed, we can't buy a stock of Exxon now, but we can place a market order which will get fulfilled tomorrow morning as soon as the stock market opens. So let's go ahead and do that. So what you want to do is go ahead and click on this green buy button. And when you click the green buy button, it's going to ask you how many shares you want to buy. Now, let's say I want to buy 2 shares. So the market price is $42.55. If I'm buying 2 shares, that means the estimated cost is going to be $85.10. Now, one thing to keep in mind is you want to make sure you have enough funds to be able to buy this stock. And if you look right below where it says buy XOM, it'll say $5,728.40 available. That's how much cash is available in your account that you could spend on any particular stock. So we have 2 shares. The market price is $42.55. The estimated cost is $85.10. We're buying XOM. Go ahead and hit that green check button. Then it'll ask you to swipe up to trade. Now, once I go ahead and I swipe up to trade, it says sending order. Great. It says XOM order queued. Your market order to buy 2 shares of XOM will be sent when the market's open. Now, as soon as the market's open tomorrow morning, this will trigger. Now, even though I put in 2 shares at $85.10, it's gonna buy XOM tomorrow. It's gonna buy XOM tomorrow, no matter what the price is, right away, because it's a market order. It means I want the stock now, or as soon as close to now as it could possibly get. And that's how you put in a market order. Now, let's talk about the limit order. This is my preferred way of entering orders into Robinhood. And the way limit orders work is you set a price, and when the price of that particular stock, ETF, financial asset gets to that price or below it, that order will trigger and fulfill. And I'll show you how this works. So you go back to the browse section of the Robinhood app with a magnifying glass, and you go ahead and search companies, and let's search for Exxon, and it's the first choice. And now that we're at Exxon, you take a look at Exxon and they're trading for $42.55. Now, I don't want to pay $42.55. I want to pay a lower price. The way I put orders in is I place an order and I wait for the market to come to me, for the market to drop to the price that I'm willing to pay, not the other way around. And if I look at the statistics, I notice here that the 52-week low is $30.11. And that is the price that I want to pay. And I don't want to pay not a penny more than that. So go ahead and I'm going to hit that buy button. I'm going to enter the number of shares. Now this screen here is for the market order, so I'm going to want to switch it. So it says market order at the top. I'm going to go ahead and click on it with the little drop down arrow is on market order, and I'm going to choose a limit order. Now there are a few different order types here. We're not going to get into it right now. I'm going to release a future video that explains all the different order types. For now, let's just talk about the limit order. This is my preferred way of putting in an order. So you click on limit order. It says set the limit price, or the maximum price that you're willing to buy XOM. Your order will only be executed at your limit price or lower. We'll go ahead and hit continue. Now I'm going to set a limit for $30.11. And it says that the market price is currently $42.55. But I don't want to pay $42.55. I want to pay $30.11. Go ahead and click that green button for next. It says extended hours. Your order can execute during extended hours or market hours only. Now, extended hours is that extra time because the market is only open from 9:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. And Robinhood has extended hours, which starts at 9 a.m. and goes to 9:30, which is the open of the market. And then Robinhood also has extended hours from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Now, it doesn't really matter to me when the order triggers, but I'm gonna choose extended hours so I can have extra availability to get that particular stock. And now it's gonna say time in force. If the order doesn't execute, it should expire by. Now this is pretty important because you have to take into account, do I want this order to be only active until the end of the next trading day? Or do I want it to be active for the next 90 days? And that's the options you have here. And to be honest with you, I don't have time to watch stocks every day. And I have patience. So typically what I'll do is I'll set an order to stay on the books for the next 90 days. And that means that if any time in the next 90 days that the stock falls to my price of $30.11, I'm automatically gonna buy it. So I'm gonna go ahead and click August 14th, 2020, lock that in. It's gonna ask me how many shares. Now obviously up to you. I'm gonna choose to buy 35 shares. So 35 shares at a price of $30.11 would come to a grand total of $1,053.85. I'm gonna go ahead and click that green button and then swipe up to trade. Sending the order. My limit order to buy 35 shares of XOM will be sent when the market opens for 35 shares at that cost of $30.11 for a grand total of $1,053.85. Done. And that's how you place a limit order. And you'll also notice that under the upcoming activity tab, it says limit buy 35 shares at $30.11. You can go ahead and click on it, and it shows you right there, $30.11, quantity 35, submitted on May 15th, good till canceled, good for 90 days, and it's in the queue. So anytime in the next 90 days that price falls to $30.11, I'm buying it. And that's how a limit order functions and works. Now let's talk about how to sell a stock. So what you want to do is you want to go to your stocks. So that's on the first screen. If you go to the navigation bar, on the lower left-hand corner, there's like a little chart with a squiggly sign going up. Click on that. It'll take you back to that first screen. And if you scroll down a little, it'll show you all the stocks that you own. So let's focus in on CLF. It shows that I own 2 shares. Obviously, you can't sell a stock that you don't own. Makes sense, right? And so I'm gonna go ahead and click on CLF. And now, since we own this stock, there's a little trade button there. So I'm gonna go ahead and click on trade. And I'm gonna go to sell. Now it's asking me how many shares I wanna sell. So let's say I wanna sell just 1 share. Now, you have to pay attention. On the upper right-hand corner, it says market order. That means that it's gonna sell 1 share at a market price of $4.08, which is currently trading at, immediately. And if I click that green button, as soon as I swipe up, it's going to enter that into the market. Now, I don't intend on selling my CLF, so I'm just gonna go ahead and hit the back button. Now, I wanna start over to show you how to put in a limit order. So if I go back again, and I'll go back again. So now we're on that first screen once again. I'm gonna go ahead and scroll down a little bit, go back to CLF, and I'm gonna hit the trade button in green. I'm gonna go to sell. Then I'm gonna go up to the upper right-hand corner where it says market order, and I'm gonna click on that little drop-down arrow, and I'm gonna choose a limit order. Now, this is a little different, but kind of the same concept. It says set the limit price or the minimum price that you're willing to sell CLF. Your order will only be executed at your limit price or higher. So we'll go ahead and hit continue, and we have to enter a limit price. Now, it says here that the market price is $4.08. Now, I wanna sell it for at least $6. So I'm gonna go ahead and set a limit price of $6. I'm gonna hit the green button. Once again, your order can execute during extended hours or market hours. It doesn't make a difference to me, so I'm gonna go ahead and hit extended hours, just so I have that extra opportunity to potentially sell. And it says the time in force. Do you want it to expire by the end of the next trading day, or do you want it to expire 90 days from today? And I'm gonna set it for 90 days, August 14th. And so now you enter the number of shares. I have 2 shares available. You'll see it says right under sell CLF. I'm gonna enter 1 share. I'm gonna sell for a limit price of $6, and I'm estimated to make $6. I'm gonna go ahead and click that green button. Check the data, 1 share, limit price $6, estimated credit $6. That means that when the price goes up to meet that $6, then I'll sell. Before that, nothing happens. I'm gonna go ahead, swipe up to trade, sends the order. Now the order has been sent to the market, and as soon as that price gets to $6, if it ever does, I'll go ahead and I'm gonna sell that share. If you found some value in this Robinhood investing tutorial so far, please consider smashing that subscribe button and turning on the notification bell to be alerted when I release future videos. Gently smash the like button as well and drop any comment in the comment section below. Doing this really helps the channel grow as it greatly boosts the YouTube algorithm, which results in this video being pushed out to more people. As a result, it helps me put out more content. It only takes you a second, and it helps me out tremendously. Thank you for your help and support. Now let's get into the good stuff. Now let's go back to that navigation bar, and I'll walk you through the message section. So if you go ahead and you look at the navigation bar, look for that little icon that looks like a text message icon. Go ahead and click on that. And it'll show you a bunch of different messages. Every transaction in Robinhood triggers a message. So let's go ahead and click on that ExxonMobil message for an example. It says, we received your order to buy 35 shares of XOM at $30.11. And it tells you can see more details, you can ask some questions, and you can even cancel the order. And every order that you put in basically triggers a message just like this one. And this is how the message section works. I would like to take this moment of this Robinhood Investing for Beginners step-by-step tutorial to dive into the section with the person icon on the bottom navigation bar. So if you look at the Robinhood app, all the way to the right on the navigation bar at the bottom of the screen, or also looks like the bottom right-hand corner, click on that little person icon. Now, if you see a whole bunch of different categories. Now I want you to focus in on the investing category. Go ahead and click on investing. You'll see that it shows your total portfolio value, which in this case is $66,469.56. It'll show you what makes up that portfolio, and you'll see here that stocks is $15,089.32, and in cash, $51,380.34. It'll also show you here that the buying power is $4,674.55, and the reason why the buying power is so low when there's so much cash in the account is because I have so many limit orders waiting to be triggered, and that takes away from your buying power. And if you scroll down here, we will get into instant deposits. And instant deposits essentially means that you have access to up to $1,000 while your money is coming from the bank. So if you put in a deposit today for $1,000, you don't have to wait until the bank clears it. You can start trading right away because you have up to $1,000 available in your account thanks to instant deposits. Now, if we continue scrolling down, you'll see here something says day trade. And a day trade is essentially when you buy and sell a stock in the same exact trading day. A day trade is not when you buy a stock today and you sell a stock tomorrow. It is buying and selling a stock in one single trading day. And if you go ahead and you rack up more than 3 day trades in a 5-day trading period, you may be labeled as what we call a day trader. And essentially Robinhood is going to place some kinds of limitations on you. And the only way to really get around this in Robinhood is if you have over $25,000 in your account, then Robinhood won't give you these restrictions for day trading, buying and selling on the same day over and over and over again. Okay, so now let's go back to where we were before. So go ahead and click on that person icon in the lower right-hand corner of the screen on the navigation bar, and it'll take us back to the screen we were just on. And there's a little feature here called transfers, deposits, withdrawals. This is essentially how you move money into Robinhood, and this is also how you take money from Robinhood and you move it back into your bank. You can also schedule reoccurring automatic deposits into your Robinhood account. You maybe time it when you get paid. It's up to you. Now let's go ahead and take a look at that Statements and History tab. So you go ahead and click on Statements and History. And you scroll to the bottom, you'll see it says Tax Documents and Account Statements. Underneath the tax documents, it'll show you your tax documents, and your tax documents pulls up your data from the prior year. So if you're trading this year, you have to wait until the following February until the tax documents populates in that section and shows you what you bought and sold and helps you prepare your taxes. And I'm not gonna go ahead and click on that tax document section because it's got a lot of personal information. And look, I'm all about transparency, but believe it or not, I have limits. And if you go ahead and you click on the account statements, it'll actually pull up monthly statements of what occurred inside your account every single month. Okay, now let's go back up a little, and let's go ahead under Statements and History and click on Show All. And it's gonna populate with all history, and all history is exactly what it says. It's all your history. and you go ahead and click transfers. It'll show the transfers to and from your bank. Under the order screen, it'll show you all the orders that you've been putting in. And under the dividends, now this is where I get really excited because this is my favorite tab. It shows you all your Robinhood investing dividends being paid from your dividend stocks. And this is really cool because it shows you how much money you're making from your dividend stocks. You'll see here that I got all these little payments, 53 cents, 65 cents, 75 cents. SPHD paid me $15.62, really incredible. KBWD, $17.05. Now this is incredible because this is cash flow. This is reoccurring income. And you can go ahead and you can click on these things and get more information. Like if I wanted more information about the SPHD, click on it. It tells me the date received, April 30th, the fact that it's paid. It's 100 shares. I made 0.15 cents per share, and that came out to a total of $15.62. Question of the day. Are you currently using the Robinhood Investing app, or will you use the Robinhood app in the future? Let me know in the comment section. If you made it this far in the video, please consider smashing that subscribe button and turning on the notification bell to be alerted when I release future videos. I highly recommend joining our mailing list by going to smashingwealth.com. This way, you'll be the first to know when I release new videos in the future. I left a link to joining our mailing list in the description box below. Obliterate that like button if you're feeling generous. Feel free to share this video if you felt this video helped you learn Robinhood investing for beginners step by step. You can also hit the save button to bookmark this video to come back to this video later. Feel free to follow me on Instagram and Twitter at RealDrRyan. Don't forget to claim up to 3 stocks for free from the links in the description box. You can claim 1 free stock from Robinhood. You can take it a step further, and just by depositing $100 into another stock platform named WeBull, you can claim up to 2 free stocks, with one of them being valued up to $1,400. That is free money in your pocket. Let me know which free stocks you get in the comment section. I hope you enjoyed this video on Robinhood Investing for Beginners. This is Dr. Ryan. Until next time, have a smashing day.